And we are live. We're live here on Friday, September 6th. Holy moly, time is a flying right by. Next thing we know, it's going to be the September Stargate. Let's just give it a couple minutes for people to come in. I have so much to talk about. Actually, I do have so much to talk about, but I am going to try to keep it concise and short and sweet tonight. Where is my where is my fuego? Where's my fire? Hey, fire! Is it in the bathroom? I'm gonna go to the bathroom and see if it's there. I'll be right back. Oh, hello. Oh yeah, hey there, gorgeous. How are you? Welcome. Happy Friday. Is that your little monkey? Yes, I love that little golden monkey. Happy Friday. Lovely Soul Quest near graduate. My first round, my Soul Quest program is meant for people to come in at any time. It just so happened that nobody new came in when I launched, and actually I don't have anybody on the books to keep going. So I think the Soul Quest program is going to take a little bit of a break, and because we don't have people that are ready to get into it right now, apparently. It's a great time to do this kind of work with Pluto being in Capricorn and what's going on with the eclipses. Oh my goodness. You guys, seriously, like this time of when we did this Soul Quest program, I gotta tell you, Lionsgate, it's like, through Lionsgate, through the Gate of Great Awakening, through Mercury retrograde and all the other retrogrades and all the other different things, it was a really amazing time. And we're wrapping up our very last meeting for the Soul Quest. It's 8 maps, 9 weeks, and 9 meetings is this coming Thursday. And that happened really fast, and it's been magical. Preach. What does that say? Laura says hi. So we have Arya, and that's why I was talking about this, because Arya is my girl who that's her spirit name. That's the last map is your spirit name. That doesn't mean that you're going to get your spirit name or it all comes through and happens at that time. It can, and it has, but it did for her, and that is her spirit name. Arya, it just moved. Arya Sarita Cristalla. And I have a surprise for you. I started working on yesterday, and I could not finish because it was bugging out on my phone, and when I had the time to do it, and then so I love the cat in the bag. I have a surprise. Anywho, you two, it's been fierce since yesterday. Oh my god, yeah, seriously, my head's been a slight I don't feel like I haven't gotten headaches in such a long time. Like there's just so many things I used to feel all the time that I haven't felt in a really long time, or they're very short, where it's like I used to feel all that stuff all the time. But certainly headaches was one of the things. Headaches, joint pains, IBS, overall fatigue. Okay, let's not talk about it. Anybody that knows fibromyalgia understands what it's horrible. And it's an energetic illness. I mean, everything that's wrong with us is energetic, but that is like legit energy, and how it just affects the entire system in all these different ways for empaths, like no only empaths, light warriors, whatever, I call us empath light body warriors. It's as few words as I can do to encapsulate us as a collective, no matter what we are on a soul-based level, here as a human, empath, light body, what did I say? Warrior. You guys, my bell is rung. It is Friday after an intense, crazy week. Am I, you know what? Let me close them. I just see I have 8 bazillion tabs open. I also can't talk and do anything else these last couple of days. I've lost all ability to do that. Okay, there we go. Just gonna bring up a couple that I actually do need. But other than that, I can get rid of, because I have the feeling I may have been skippy. So anywho, we empath light body warriors tend to feel energy so much more intensely, and it affects us in different ways. But a lot of us, or all of us who, anybody that you know or has heard of that has fibro, I bet my life that person is an empath. It's an empath illness. But it's not like, that's not something medicine would know about, but it is. And I don't have any of that anymore because I've healed all the energy stuff. And, in that one miraculous event. And then, since then, the other parts of me had to catch up. But, yeah, nevertheless, it's still very, it's different because you're still feeling energy. You're sensitive to energy. It does affect you energetically and physically and all the things, but it's different than it was when you're chronically ill and have all these chronic situations going on. It's not like that anymore. It's just, and you're conscious of it too. You're like, I feel like you know why you're feeling certain things. At least I hope you do. If you don't, follow me because I will help you with that. Join I almost said clubs. They should be clubs. Maybe I should call them clubs. I don't know. Join my groups. And I will get into that more in a second. But anywho, when we know and we can, it's like knowing, it's literally, I call it the cosmic weather. We know the cosmic weather and we know ourselves and our bodies and our soft spots and, what we're still healing, what we have healed, and where we can really, how we can work with ourselves and our guides and guardians in a way that really helps us not be sick. So we're maintaining ourselves, we're healing ourselves, we're following guidance, we're doing the things, and experiencing things and connecting with people, working with people that help us heal. And that's the topic of today. If you saw the card, let me go through here. Let me finish this. Laura says, hi, love the name. I do too. Oh, purple heart from Aria. Chris says late, but I'm here. Oh, you're not that late. We just started. I was a couple minutes late. Aria says, I only slept 3 hours last night. My body is so uncomfortable. I've been stretching and resting all day. I've been stretching as much as I can too. Yeah, there is a real shock that we're starting to feel. Okay, let me just cut to the chase here. We're starting to feel the eclipse in Pisces on the 17th. We're in the shadow period of the eclipse, and it's a freaking doozy, peeps. Let me tell you. It's at 25 degrees Pisces. So if you are a Pisces or any water sign, if you're a Virgo, because we are in Virgo, but yeah, everybody though can feel it. But there are some of us, I'm a Pisces moon, and turns out I'm at 26 degrees Pisces, and it's especially intense if you're Pisces at 5 degrees to the north or the south of 25. You're going to be in the zone of like really feeling it. So if that applies to you, go check your birth chart. If you don't know, I didn't know. I attended Meg's eclipse workshop today. I almost missed it. She's a new astrologer that I've been guided to, and I talked about her in my last article on Medium about Pluto. If you have not read that article, please be sure to read that article. It is very, very important to know what's going on with Pluto right now and for the next 2 months. So we're feeling that. I shit you not, and I put videos up on my Facebook showing that on Saturday, I was like, oh my God. And this was like the crossover of Pluto getting into Capricorn again. And then the new moon happening on Monday started to like really, and I was just like, what is going on? This is nuts. And yeah. And then you're really getting more into feeling what's going on with this full moon coming up. It's big time, you guys. Laura says, I didn't sleep at all. I had to leave work early because I was so wrecked. Oh, goodness gracious. I slept and I woke up early. This has been my thing. I had more of that. Sleep has been interesting. This whole last, basically for a week, sleep has been interesting. As in, I couldn't sleep for very long, so I was waking up real early. And then I would get to a certain point in the evening and be like, oh, it's not night. It's not nighttime at like 4:30, 5 o'clock. And then I would wake up at like 8. And then I'd go to sleep at like 12 or 1. And then I would wake up at like 4. And then the same thing. And that's when you're on that schedule, a lot is going on in your astral. You're requiring a lot of sleep to integrate. And then you are activating in between there some of that stuff that's incoming, especially when all of this stuff is going on like it is and has been. Truly, like I've said to you guys for a while now, that once we get into midsummer, basically, or summer, it really started, well, this year, it's a little different because we had the eclipse in April. Like that was really the kicker. Then we had the summer solstice. That was like pedal to the metal. And that's just continued when we've gotten into Lionsgate, the Gate of Great Awakening. And like I just said, we had the full moon, then we had new moon and Pluto. And now we're feeling full moon eclipse in Pisces. Really intense. And it's the first of 3 full moon eclipses in Pisces. So that is huge. I didn't know that until today when I was in her workshop, and I was like, oh my goodness gracious God right now, because Pisces is the most watery of water signs. It is the sign of psychics and mystics and healers, and all the woo stuff are us Pisces. And when Pisces is in moon, and in your like it's Pisces moon, then that amplifies all that woo because it's the moon, right? So a Pisces moon, like myself, speak up if you're a Pisces moon, do share. Just is like that stamp of like, oh yeah, you're woo. I mean, my woo is all over my chart. Like I couldn't hide it if I tried. Oh my God, it's so funny. Really, my chart is fascinating. Everybody's chart is fascinating, but it's like, especially when you're like, you're so obviously, you know, in those off the chart wooiness ways, it really shows up. It's not so ambiguous like some other characteristics for people. Anywho, we have 3 in Pisces for the next whatever year and a half. So that's a big deal. And that starts now. Not to mention this Pluto thing, because anything with Pluto is a big deal, because Pluto takes forever to go in and out of positions with their what houses and what constellations that they're in. So that's a really big deal. And we're going to have Pluto in Aquarius permanently, or at least for the next, it's like 200 and something years, except for a couple of occasional retrogrades for short periods of time. It's in Aquarius. So there's this big transition from Capricorn to Aquarius with Pluto. Pluto rules our soul business, our again, our woo. You know, it's far out there. It's very like on point. Like I'm Pluto. Look at me way out here all by myself. Look at, I'm all woo. And there's Pluto. And now Pluto is going into Aquarius, you know, age of Aquarius. Aquarius is changing everything. So this thing with Pluto is really, really changing things in a really big way for us. Michelle, hi Infiniti. Sandra and Michelle from Canada. Hi loves. Happy Friday. Okay, so there's a little backstory of what's been going on. Am I everywhere? Yes, I am. Okay. There's a little, Chris says, the more I look at my birth chart, the more I glare at my high self, explains all the terrible past. Oh, geez. Or at least, well, the more you know, a lot of us got, we got extra helpings in these lifetimes. A lot of us got extra helpings. Like we went to the buffet. We're like, let's just load up like 5 plates so I don't have to keep coming back. And I'll just do it now in this lifetime, because we need to be efficient with our time. We've gotten to a point where things are actually finally changing after we've been working so hard for so many millennia as we've incarnated, because it's never been the way it is now. And a lot of things haven't been the way they are now. So we're making big, big leaps in the scheme of things. If we take like where our consciousness and connectedness with all each other, Gaia, the universe, just technology has been a huge part of this, and we have not had technology like this and had these types of timelines. So it has been like inching for the longest time with all of our incarnations, and the ramifications of incarnations in a spiritual war again and again and again, where being a woo incarnate can get you murderized quickly if you're lucky. That's not the way they usually choose to do it. Yeah. So in these incarnations, it was like, look, you don't have to deal with that. You're not going to get burned on the stake or drowned or, ripped apart or fed to lions or whatever. And so, and there's going to be, this massive shift. So we can take on some more. And we have. A lot of us have. To heal these wounds that are connected to other incarnations' wounds. Just like I said, they haven't been easy. And a lot of tragedy and injustice and fear and persecution and control has been part of the fear-based matrix for so long. And this is why it's in a lot of ways coming to a head right now, because the consciousness of the collective is rising, and the dark side, they don't really know exactly what to do. So they're kind of like pushing all the buttons and pulling all the levers, and so it's important for us to see things for what they are. Try to not allow ourselves to be attached to too much of the chaos. It's good to be aware, but not absorbed in it, not allowed to be shifted in our vibration to the lower, because that's the point. It's feeding off our negative energy and creating more negative energy to feed off of. And in all the different ways that can happen, while keeping our consciousness suppressed by keeping us in dis-ease. So this is why when they go, why would they do that to us? Why would they put poisons? Why would they? Because it's better that you're sick. When you're sick or disconnected or ineffective or all the above, you have a low vibration and you're not going to be spiritually awake. You're not going to have a higher consciousness. You're not going to embody your soul and be at full power, which is a pretty big deal. Like a really big deal. It takes time, takes effort, takes commitment, takes intent, takes it takes a lot, but it's worth it. And more people are going, yeah, because guess what? I am actually now getting aware that the who I've been and the life I've had and the environment and the existence and the reality is not the way it needs to be or should be. I'm not exactly sure what it needs to be or should be, but I know that's not it. And then we get guided to actualize that truth. So that's a problem for the dark side. That's a real problem. I'm a real problem for the dark side. Dark ones don't much care for Infiniti. So I like popping people off, making people strong, being who they're meant to be. And that means you're uncontrollable, you're sovereign, you're magical, you're powerful, you're not in pain. You're not easily manipulated. You don't seek out chaos. That's how we raise the consciousness together in these ways. So anywho, let's get into it, peeps. We've been here long enough. It's a small crowd tonight, which is totally fine. I appreciate every single one of you who are here. I would appreciate some loves and likes. Thank you so much to Kevin and Arya for the hearts. I appreciate hearts and likes and subscribes and shares and comments as much as possible, because that helps the algorithm. It helps YouTube and Facebook and X go, hey, people like this, and you stay, and all of those things. So thanks for being here on all the channels, YouTube, Facebook, and X. I appreciate you all. Okay, so tonight's topics, I did talk a little bit about the Stargate, but not much, but that's in a minute. First, I want to tell y'all about my new collaboration and membership, I guess, with a platform called heal.me. Has anybody heard of that? Well, some of you have, that have been so nice and beautiful and gracious, which literally I think almost all of you in the room. And if not, I can give you, if you would like to leave me a nice review, I would appreciate it. But let me know if you've heard of heal.me. It's a website. Let me show you. Let me share my screen. Okie dokie pokies. Here we are. So this is heal.me. Book with 4,000 plus holistic practitioners. Find a practitioner. I don't know if I can search myself. I am signed in, but I don't know. But anyway, you can search all different people, all different things, from meditation, sound therapy, nutrition, all of these things. And I am now on here as well. But I, encourage you to check things out. I don't do all the things, and I'm not for everybody. Everybody's not for me. I don't do everything. Everything I offer is maybe not for you. But if you are, let me show you my profile. Oh, that's not the one that I wanted. Hold on a second. Let me actually, let me see if I just, can I search myself? Yes, here I am. So if you just go into the search and put in Infiniti, I pop up. This is my profile here. A beautiful tree with the depending on where you're coming from, sun or moon in the background. Awaken, connect, heal, evolve. They just changed from yesterday to today the whole layout and look of the web design, which was really interesting. But I got several reviews from you guys, my lovely clients and followers. So please take a look and read. I think I have 6 or 7 of them now. But if you would like to contribute with a nice review. Oh, let me go back up. I don't know how that happened. Oh, because I hit more and it did this whole thing. I see. Okay, so let's go down. Services are over here, but I want to take your attention real quick to this right here. It's actually 3 gifts, but 2 are the Yeah, it should really say 3 gifts. And we've changed it over here because I'm like, there's actually this whole other thing. But I'll show you right now. I got to change that. That's hilarious. Really needs to be a 3. So then there's going to be 333 here. That is so funny. It's like right there as big as you can be. It's like, and both me and my assistant missed it. That is so funny. Anywho, so we have 3 different ways to get gifts when booking with me. And it's a little, I scratch your back, you scratch my back kind of situation. What I'm offering you, and for right now, it is open-ended. I may be guided at any time to put a cap on it. I don't know. But for right now, it's open. There is not an expiration. But it is when you book any of my services, single services that are all $222 for 2 hours. You get the recording and pictures if you're getting cards, to repeat, to review. And that is the 222 is minimum donation. So when you book, you just book, and you pay $80. I do it totally different from anybody that I've ever known. And this was guided to me to start doing it this way. And it works. So your $80 goes towards your 222 minimum donation. We have your session, whatever it is, and you have up to 3 days or longer if you need it. It's not like a big deal. Like, I'm not going to come hunt you down if you're like, oh, I need to, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. But around the 3-day mark, you pay the remainder of your donation. If it's going to be the 222, which is fine, that's the minimum donation, then you would pay that amount. But what this is taking $33 off the minimum donation. So your minimum donation goes from 222 to 189. Okay. And you also get 50% off your first month in any group that you join. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. This goes for my 3 groups up here. Let me show you. The Luminous Oracle Tribe. That starts in October. October 2nd, actually on the solar eclipse, is October 2nd. That's in Libra. That's another big deal. Anywho, that's going to be a great, wonderful group. We already have Michelle is in there, Laura's in there, and Barb is in there, my early founding members. So anybody else wants to get on that, you get 15% off your first month if you sign up by the 9th, and use coupon code Oracle Tribe. That is on the website. So when you sign up, and there's different options from monthly to weekly payments, your commitment in 3, 6, and 9 month cycles, it makes it less and less expensive. So the least expensive one is $70 per month or $20 per week, if that's better for you. The monthly is $111 per month. And that comes with a group and readings and spirit walks and weekly meetings and global healing and all sorts of awesome stuff I'm super duper excited about. And that's the Luminous Oracle Tribe. Then we have the Unstoppable Empath course and membership. That is about cord cutting, learning about energy cords, how to cord cut, how to cord reset. You go through this very short course. You can get through it in a week. And then how to go through the process of assessing what cords you need to cut, and then going through the regimen of beginning those healing sessions. And that comes with weekly meetings. And this I practically give away for $35 a month because it's such critical work for people to do. I want to make it a no-brainer to join that group and start doing that work. Then we have the Awakening Shaman Circle. That is my empath support group and current cosmic energy and connecting with Gaia and talking about what's going on with you and your ascension, and bringing anything to the table that you need support with or want to know about. There's a long list of topics and themes of things about ascension and spirituality that we can talk about and discuss. And in that meeting in those meetings in that group, I'm constantly receiving information. And there's 7 tiers to choose from. The most basic comes with a Facebook group and weekly meetings for $88. And then there's 7 tiers with more that you get through each tier. One-on-one time with me, readings, spirit walks, energy healings, things like this, full moon, new moon things. So that's the other one. And then that's it as far as what applies to the 50% off. The Soul Quest program is a group, but it's its own thing. It is a lifetime membership, major deal program, finite, like I was talking about before. So the 50% off applies to my monthly subscription groups. And then the other thing, if you see here, it says off minimum donation and referral. So that's the third thing, is that if you refer a friend or a family member, a loved one, refer a loved one to me who books, and they do the review process, which I didn't tell you about. I'm going to tell you about right now. This is what you have to do as well to have that minimum donation. Submit a written review. Like I showed you, I got written reviews from my clients that I've already had before I've even gotten on heal.me. But my new clients that are going to be booking through me, I want them to leave reviews. And sometimes people just, I don't know what happens. Let's just say I find that sometimes incentivizing people to leave reviews helps. There tends to be kind of a block there with these things for some reason. Yeah. So anyhow, so the deal is you write a review and you do a 1-minute video. It could be a little bit longer, but a 1-minute video talking about your experience, the service, how you're feeling, how you felt and how you're feeling. And you know, how you recommend me to, I'm not putting words in your mouth. You say whatever you want to say, but that's what my requirement is, to lower that minimum down to $189, taking through $33 off your next service with me. So essentially we have book with me, do the review process, take your minimum to $189, and then we have 50% off your first month in any of those 3 groups. If you want to join multiple of those groups, you can for 50% off. So there you go for that first month to check it out and see if you want to stay. And I think you would, hopefully. And then again, referring a loved one who goes through the process. And then you also get another $33 towards a next service with me. So hopefully that's all very clear. It is important that you do book through heal.me and not my website to get this promotion, because I do want that that review on this website here. Like you see all these reviews. When I click here, it just takes you down. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, it takes you down here. I want you, if you're gonna work with me, to leave me a review because it's going to be a great experience. It's going to be magical. You're going to feel fantastic, and it's important to me that you help me help other people. And people love to read reviews from other people who have had experiences with me. This is a very woo place to be. Down further are some more photos. I won't click that just yet, but here we go. This is telling you this is a small version of the bigger version. And then these slides here explain these 3 promotions at the same time. And then there's just more photos here of me and around home and some images that I created with AI that I really like, that I wanted or have been guided to share. And that's pretty much it. Schedule an appointment now. Go ahead and click that. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. My availability is limited, you guys, because I have regular clients in my groups, in group meetings and one-on-one meetings, and I need time to do other things in my life. I don't have a lot of availability for bookings. So I have like the next available Tuesday, and it says 11, 11:30, and 12. Well, once somebody books here, that's gone. I'm not going to have, my sessions are 2 hours. So don't let this fool you. Look at this and see 1, 1, 1, maybe 2 here on Wednesday, depending, but basically 1 or 2 a week for openings. So I suggest if you're interested, please book sooner than later. Does anybody have any questions? I need to come back here. Any questions, any comments, anything? I want my drink. Nope. Okie dokie. Reach out if you have any, if you do end up having any questions. Otherwise, feel free to go ahead and book directly on heal.me. Oh, let me, why does it say reviews? It says that. Hold on. There we go. And this link is also in the description of this video. And I am going to have posts on YouTube. There is going to be a section on my website as well. And there is going to be a post on my Facebook that I'm going to pin to the featured. But let me know if you have any questions moving forward about either the single services or the groups. And lastly, I do offer consultations. Oh, let me take this off. I do offer consultations to people who want to work with me long-term, whether in solo one-on-one programs or plans or in groups. If you just want a single session, I don't have consultations and then single sessions. You can just book the single session with me, and there is a questionnaire that you're going to fill out depending on what it is that you're booking with me, and that's about it. Jason, just popping in before I leave for work. Congratulations and many blessings. Oh, thank you so much, Jason. Thanks for leaving a review. I really appreciate that. It was so sweet of you. So sweet. And I hope you have a wonderful night at work. Have a beautiful weekend too. Okay, I do believe that's it about heal.me. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. So moving on to the Stargate and just the energies in general. And this is why I said this really has a lot to do with healing. Virgo energy on its own. And I talked about this for the new moon. So there's a lot of healing energies that and the motivation, the inspiration to heal on different levels, to nurture, to comfort yourself, to purge things that need to be purged, to disconnect, to reassess, realign. And I've been doing a shit ton of this lately. It's been an onslaught of just like, no more of that, no more of that. We're done with that. That's gone. We're doing this. Just cleaning house, let's say, because that is healing. When we disconnect from things or we, end things, we're making room for new things. And we go, you know what? Either there's some reason why this isn't working, or it did work and it's not working anymore. And we need to change stuff, whether it's just you doing you, or you and anybody else, or anything or system else. Like there comes a time, or you've known for a while, usually how it goes. Like, for a while that, yeah, this is not going to last a whole lot longer, or this is going to end soon, or, something like that. Or I could see this being the beginning of the end, things like this. And of course, we have all these energies that come through to support us changing, to support us having these timeline shifts. And we really have major timeline shifts when we heal. So it's really interesting, like how I've been guided in recent time. And I'm not new to heal.me. I actually got this, or got on here, paid for the lifetime membership over the last few months. And I could have activated it at any time. And it just wasn't like, and I knew it at the time. I'm like, I'm guided to sign up for this and like get this going. But for some reason, I have a feeling it's just not going to engage anytime soon. And I was right. And on top of that, at the last full moon, this whole thing download came in about the Oracle group. So what I'm getting at here is I've been guided to create and facilitate spaces for connection and healing that totally is in alignment with what is going on with these energies of Virgo, most explicitly, and the Stargate of this month, 9/9 to 9/19. Any Stargate is connected to not astrology, but cosmic forces and energies. It's about our quadrant of the universe and moving further into the galactic center and jumping arms of the Milky Way and going further in, which is what we've done in a lot in the last just few decades. That is part of the whole age of Aquarius. So every month we have these boosts in how the entire quadrant just gets pulled into the galactic center. So this is why it's not about astrology. Astrology is about our solar system, period, the end. And this, when it comes to Stargates, is about 10,000 times our solar system. So it's really big energies, really big forces that push and pull us and break and shake us to collapse, create, and solidify our timelines every single month. And it progresses from the beginning of the year through like a spiral or like a funnel, depending on how you want to look at it. Spiral energy is off the charts lately. I just saw a whole post, like a thread on X about spirals, like yesterday. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like cosmically and spiritually and energetically and all of that, spirals. So that was interesting. I actually didn't even like look at the thread because just looking at the top one, I'm like, I'm good for right now. I'm firmly in a spiral. I'm spiraling. I'll get back to this when I can actually take this energy in. I shit you not. I'm like, I'm fine. Who knows how many is in that thread? It could be 8, could be 18, could be 28. I have no idea. But I just looked at the first one. The first one had like 6 images of spirals. And I'm like, I'm good. So anyway, every single month, starting in January, we start this cycle. It starts on 1/1 to 1/10. 2 2 to 2 2. Well, 1 1 to 1 11, 1 2 2 to 2 12. Sorry, yeah, and then it goes. It is a little different in January, but anyhow, 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 5 all the way till we get to 12 12, and then that takes us to 12 22. So we're in 9 9 to 9 19 for September, which is Monday. We have the Stargate, but we feel this energy like starting to like ramp up. It always feels to me like being in a spaceship, like a la Star Wars or something. And you hit the, when they hit the warp speed or the whatever they call it, and it's like, whoo, like that energy, that's Stargate energy to me. Some are more intense than others. This one, because it's literally overlaps with that full moon in Pisces, lunar eclipse on the 19th, is going to be a doozy. Not only that, Virgo is a doozy in itself. Virgo is very organized and black and white. Virgo does not so much live in the gray. Virgo wants us to be serious and mature and take care of ourselves and stop messing around, to get serious about our ascension and stop, wasting time, getting in our own way and making excuses. And, like, we're not the garage. Like, you're like, oh, what a mess. I don't feel like cleaning it. I've got better things to do. No, like Virgo is like, no, you don't. It's all about healing. So back to the healing. Virgo is all about healing. The Stargate is all about, every Stargate is all about essentially taking us on our ascension and our healing path, because we're solidifying, creating, and dissolving timelines so we can live in our highest possible timelines, hopefully. But it's a precarious time every Stargate, because it's shaky and things happen. When you start to pay attention to Stargates and see what happens on either the 9-9 for this month and the 9-19 and everything in between, on a personal, immediate, world and global scale, for yourself on a month-to-month basis, and really take a look at, like, wow, pay attention, like, oh, Stargates. I'm always talking about them. I've been talking about them since I was given the information about them from our High Council of Divine Light that I am a member as a Angelic Incarnate, Archangelic Incarnate. And that's not something anybody that I've ever seen anywhere discuss other than me. So if you go and try to find out what Stargates are, you're going to be hard pressed to find that information from anybody else, because it just is. I don't know. It just is what it is. But it is a thing. So the Virgo September Stargate really wants us to, again, it's that, like what I talked about in the new moon. It's this like purity. It's this goddess in the temple. It's taking care of yourself, taking your life, your beingness, your body, your mentality, your emotions, everything about you, and going, enough is enough. Of whatever it is that enough is enough of. Hopefully it's not too many things, but whatever that it is, hopefully enough is enough. And these are the energies, again, between the eclipse and the Stargate and Virgo. On top of that, and being what Virgo is, makes cleaning house and getting serious for ourselves, by ourselves, with ourselves, and whomever and whatever that we're guided to help us help ourselves, and take a real stand in our lives when it comes to what works and what doesn't anymore, and who I was and who I am and who I'm morphing into. And that requires intention and a real like fiery type of, no, Virgo's not a fire sign, that's beside the point, but that like passionate energy to get serious. Like, you know, when you've seen somebody like talk about getting healthy or kind of dabble in certain ways, dip their toe in here and there, and yeah, they've changed, but then all of a sudden they're like really changed. And it's because of, at some point they got like, it kicked in, let's get like really serious now. It doesn't happen for everybody, but it happens for a lot of people. So anyhow, the healing vibe, however that it is, in the different ways that is important for you to heal, for you to heal your timeline, for you to stand up for yourself, take a stand in things, to finally, you know, book a session for healing or spiritual guidance or Reiki. I don't do Reiki, but you go to somebody else for that. I'm a natural born generational shaman, Archangelic, Incarnate, super divinely connected human who works in way the deep end of the woo when it comes to our healing and what we do. And it's magical and beautiful and absolutely real, and it's a thing, and it does work, but it may not be for everybody. So whatever it is that you're guided to do for yourself, to clean house, either literally or figuratively, in different ways, to be done with what does not serve you, like seriously, and really hone in on making space for what can really support you and help you shift and change and be healthier. Something as kind of small and kind of big as like joining one of my groups, like the Unstoppable Empath group, working on your cords, your energy cords. That's massive. Booking a session with an astrologer, you know, good, reputable, on point empath astrologer who can really help you see your chart and give you insight to the moment in time and how all that energy is connected and influences you, because it does. It's not why things happen. It's not like, oh, we blame, because a lot of people don't understand astrology, or like, you're blaming your life on astrology. It's like, you don't understand at all the point of astrology if that's what you think astrology is. It's not. It's about understanding you through astrology. And when you get the answers through your birth chart, you can look back at your life and it's undeniable. And there's things, once you get old enough, you look at your birth chart and you're like, oh yeah, that's not me anymore. It was. I relate to that old me in these ways and these characteristics, but not anymore. Where these ones are, but that I maybe didn't before, I am now. Because when we're younger and we look at our chart and we're like 20, a lot of it is going to be very on point because you're close to that time where you were born. And then as you get older, it's more of like kind of past tense. And then there's some that's like right now as you are older, or in the future, as you know, when you get into like your 50s. It's very fascinating. Anywho, this is the time, these are the energies to partake of knowing you, getting deep into you, going into spaces that are uncomfortable, like groups. I don't know, really. I don't think I've had any client or anybody in a group. Maybe, I mean, I've had so many people like, oh, groups make me nervous, or they're overwhelming, or I don't know what to say, or I feel out of place, or do I belong? I'm super shy. It's hard for me to share all of these things. Most people feel that way, but it's all of my groups. I'm only going to speak for my groups. All of my groups are a very safe, fun place to be where people love and support each other. And we're meant to be in groups. We're not meant to be alone. And the sooner you find groups and people to connect to, or at least be in the same vibe and energy. If you're in a group, one of my groups, then you're on some kind of same track, right? So utilize that. You know, these are opportunities that have been created to invest in yourself in more ways than one. But if my groups aren't for you, then find other groups, find people, find places where you can, and people that can help you with your soul and ascension and spiritual guidance and healing, because it requires a multi-leveled approach to really optimizing and maximizing your full potential. And if you think that one retreat or one healing or one ayahuasca trip or, you know, a year of microdosing or a couple of healing sessions and meditating every day that's good enough, it's not. It just isn't. It requires more than that to really deeply, truly, effectively, and efficiently heal. So you don't have anything chronic going on with you. If you have something chronic going on with you, there's healing that needs to be done. There's transmutation. There's things that need to be disconnected, reconnected, realigned, overhauled, removed, installed, awareness, all this. Like, it's a lot. And this is why I offer so many different things, because there's so many different pieces to and check boxes to check. And I've understood this for a really long time. The ultimate in healing that I provide is the Evolve Now program. Deeply intense, one-on-one, a shit ton of healing work. And it's me and you deep in it for at minimum 6 months, but typically a year to a year and a half, where your life completely gets flipped over in the best ways possible. But that's not, necessarily for everybody, but check it out if that's something you're interested in. I also have the 6-month journey plans as well. Anywho, Laura says, I was timid at first, but now it's hard to shut me up. It's a very comfortable space. Oh, thank you so much, sweetie pie. We have Laura here. She's in my Soul Quest program, and which is ending. Like I said, this round it's finite, so it's ending. But you just joined the Awakening Shaman Circle, so you're going to be in that group. You're in the Oracle group, and sometime in the near future, you're going to do the Evolve Now program. And I'm super stoked on that. So stoked. I cannot wait. But thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate that. Okay, Bubba. Okay. All right. So I believe that is it. I feel like if I kept talking, I might be repeating myself. This week has been really intense in a lot of ways. Energetically, it's going to keep getting intense. I've had, like I was saying earlier, it's not like I've had headaches and stuff like that, but I felt like this pressure, there's so much coming through that it's just like wah, wah, wah. And I've been super duper busy. Plus I hurt my foot really badly last week, and that's taken a lot of energy, and it's still messed up. It's still not totally okay. And she says, yes, I'm super excited about all these things with you, girl. Super stoked. So anyhow, we're going to keep this one short tonight. I think we've all had a long, tiring week. I appreciate everybody who has come in and said hello. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate and love you. Happy Stargate. Happy September Stargate. Just as always, take your time, think things through. I like to think of this as like riding a wave and be really intentional about not getting knocked off the wave, or knocked off the surfboard. And anything can happen. Shit gets wild in Stargates, and especially now with Pluto and Pisces, lunar eclipse. Oh, goodness gracious. It may get really wild and crazy. People really may, through the Stargate. Okay, I'm not done. Hold the phone. People may really get activated and triggered. And you might be the people, but it could be more people around you, or just, seeing society in general, agitated, aggravated, angry, paranoid, obsessive, aggressive, violent, to themselves and others. And, just do your best to keep your head on a swivel. It would be good to be prepared with things as far as, just having extra water, extra food, and things like this. Be stocked. So if energies are really wild, you're like, I don't need to go out, or get food delivered. That's fine too. Try not to do any water travel. That came through in the workshop today, because it is a Pisces. It's very Pisces. So lunar eclipse. Not to scare you or anything like that. It's just be aware of the energies that are going on. And there's a lot of it's kind of stormy energetically with all of these different components going on to shift our consciousness and our timelines. It's like earthquake on earthquake on earthquake. Or like Meg said today in her workshop, it's like full moon on steroids, times 1,000. That's what we're dealing with. And that's just talking about the eclipse. It's not also talking about the Gate of Great Awakening activations that we're getting at this time. The integrations came through in August, but the activations are happening now. It's not talking about Pluto and Capricorn. That's not talking about what else was there? The Stargate, whatever. There's just so many things. I've lost track. So it's choppy. It's like earthquake on earthquake on earthquake on earthquake. Energetically, we'll feel this in our bones. We'll feel this in our joints. We'll feel this in our stomachs. We'll feel this in our heads. We'll feel emotional. We'll be reactionary or triggered. I have definitely been feeling it. And I'm just like, whoa, it's like that, like being taken out of yourself through energetically that is outside of you. And if you let it rule you and take control of you, you will fall off of the surfboard. So it's about really bend the knees. Yeah. Get to a different center of gravity. Like, I'm serious. And you're going to be able to move with, the motion of the ocean so much more than if you're just standing there, just like, oh, what's going on? You've seen those people at the beach? They're like, what? And then wave comes and or whatever. So what I'm getting at is be aware and tune in about places and people and experiences that you are guided to and you are guided from. Don't look for chaos. Look for peace and ease and ways that you avoid getting into things or experiencing things that, you don't want to experience. Don't be manipulated and baited into confrontations and arguments and situations that are fruitless and really maybe are none of your business or none of your business in that capacity. So just, mind your P's and Q's kind of thing. All right, guys. Now I'm done. Whew. Michelle. Bye, Michelle and Sandra. Thank you so much, everybody, again, for being here, hanging in with me during that last bit that needed to come out. I love you. Mwah. I'm going to go outside with my dogs now. You guys ready to go? Bye. See you later, alligators. You guys ready to go?